Hi friends, this is Naresh. In this session, I am going to explain about design procedure of a connecting rod, and also I will explain how to solve the problems. Coming to the first problem, that is dimensions of I cross section for connecting rod. The following are the particulars refer to four-stroke diesel engine. Okay, given that cylinder bore 120 mm, stroke 180 mm, and speed 800 mm, maximum inside gas pressure is equal to 4 newton per mm square, that is 4 megapascal. Mass of the reciprocating parts 1.5 kg. The ratio of length of the connecting rod to the radius of crankshaft is 4:1. Determine the dimensions of I section of the connecting rod at middle, big end, and at a small end. If the cross section dimensions at the middle of the connecting rod are 4t is to 5t. Use Rankine's formula. Given that allowable compressive stress 350 megapascal. Okay, this is the given data for determining the dimensions of I cross section of the internal combustion engine connecting rod. Okay, by using these details, you have to design a suitable connecting rod, suitable shape of a connecting rod. So here, the cross section of the connecting rod is I. Okay, you have to design a I cross section. Okay, yeah, this is a four-stroke diesel engine, so you have to consider half of the speed only. Okay, so for two-stroke engines you have to consider same speed, but four-stroke engines you have to consider half of the speed only. So here the bore, cylinder bore is given, that is 120 mm. Here the bore means the internal diameter of the cylinder hole. Okay, so cylinder bore equal to 120 mm. I consider this one as capital D. Okay, D is the diameter of the bore, and stroke length, that is LS. LS is the stroke length of the piston, that is 180 mm. And here the speed of the four stroke engine is 800 rpm. Okay, this is a four stroke diesel engine. So for four strokes you have to consider half of the speed, there is 400 rpm only you have to consider. And maximum inside gas pressure, that is a 4 newton per mm square, that is a 4 megapascal. And mass of the reciprocating parts, here the mass of the reciprocating parts means the mass of the piston rings and piston pin, and 1 by third mass of the connecting rod. Okay, that is the total mass of the reciprocating parts. Okay, the mass of the reciprocating parts means you have to consider mass of the piston rings, piston pin, and 1 by third mass of the connecting rod. Okay, that is the total mass of the reciprocating parts. Here you have to consider a total mass of the reciprocating parts, that is MR. MR is the mass of reciprocating parts, 1.5 kgs. Okay, and here the ratio of length of the connecting rod to the radius of the crankshaft is 4:1. That means here small l is the length of the connecting rod, and r is the small r is the radius of the crank. So L by R ratio is given. So L by R equal to 4:1. Okay, L by R ratio equal to 4:1. So the length of the connecting rod mainly depends upon the L by R ratio. So that's why it is very important for design of connecting rod. Okay, so the length of the connecting rod mainly depends upon L by R ratio. Okay, and also it is very important for design the size of the engine. Okay, and also the height of the engine also depends upon the L by R ratio. Okay, yeah, L by R equal to 4. Okay, 4 is to 1 means 4. L by R equal to 4. By using these details, you have to determine the dimensions of the I section at the middle, at the big end, at the small end. Okay, so here already we know the shape of I cross section. For connecting rods at big end having height more than the small end, okay, because the cross section is in a taper shape, so that's why the height the height of I cross section at the big end, at the small end, at the middle are different. Okay, here the ratio of the I cross section at the middle of the connecting rod is 40 is to 5t. That means the height of the I section equal to 5t and width equal to 4t. Okay, width of the I section equal to 4t and height of the I section equal to 5t. So this is the ratio of I cross section at the middle of the connecting rod. Okay, so by using this ratio, you have to find out the suitable height at the big end, at the small end. Okay, by using Rankine's formula, you have to design a buckling load. Okay, you have to find out the value of buckling load by using Rankine's formula, because already we know that the connecting rod, you have to treat it connecting rod as a column. Okay, so by using columns formulas, you have to design a load, buckling load. You have to find out the buckling load. Okay, so for determining the value of buckling load, we are using the Rankine's formula. Okay, here the allowable compressive stress is given, that is a sigma c. Okay, this is the compressive stress for a connecting rod material. Okay, for connecting rod material, so you have to consider sigma c equal to 350 megapascal in this problem only. Okay, and also you have to consider a factor of safety as fs equal to 6, and constant, this constant is used for Rankine's formula. Okay, small a is the constant value, that value equal to 1 by 7500. This value is for mild steel. Okay, so the material used for I cross section for connecting rod is mild steel. Okay, so compressive stress for mild steel equal to 350 megapascal. So these are the given values. Okay, by using these details, you have to design a suitable I cross section. Okay, these are the given data. Bore, I consider bore as a capital D, that is 120 mm, 120 by 1000 equal to 0.12 meters. And stroke means stroke length, ls equal to 180 mm. This is the length, this is the stroke of the and stroke length of the piston. Okay, that means that the piston moves from top dead center to bottom dead center. So that is the length of the stroke. So stroke equal to 180 mm. So 180 by 1000 equal to 0.18 meters, and speed of the engine equal to 800 rpm. And here the maximum inside gas pressure is given, that is capital P. Capital P equal to 4 megapascal is given. Okay, so you have to convert all these values in meters. Okay, so that's why you have to convert 4 Newton per mm square into 4 into 10 power 6 Newton per meter square. Here Newton per mm square equal to 1 megapascal. 1 mega equal to 10 power 6. Okay, and mass of reciprocating parts. Mass of reciprocating parts MR equal to 1.5 kg. Okay, here mass already I explained previous. Uh, Mass of reciprocating parts is equal to sum of the masses of the piston parts plus 1 by third mass of the connecting rod. So that is the mass of reciprocating parts. Here the piston slides within a cylinder. Okay, so it piston reciprocates in upward and downward direction. So you have to consider reciprocating parts, mass of reciprocating parts as a piston mass. Okay, here the ratio of length of connecting rod to the crank radius is given, that is L by R equal to 4 is to 1 is given, that is equal to 4. So by using this relation, you have to find out the value of length of the connecting rod. Okay, and the compressive stress for mild steel equal to 350 megapascal is given. You have to convert this megapascal into mm, and then after you have to convert this into meters. So 1 mega equal to 10 power 6 Newton per meter square, and 1 megapascal equal to 1 Newton per mm square. Okay. Here the factor of safety is given, that is Fs equal 6, and constant, that is this constant is used for Rankine's formula, and here constant A equal to 1 by 7500. This value is used for, this value is for mild steel material. Okay, this is the cross sectional view of a cylinder and a piston connecting rod and crankshaft. Okay, so this is a cylinder, these are the inlet and outlet valves, this is a spark plug or a fuel injector. Okay, so here this is a connecting rod, this is a piston, this is a piston pin, and this is a crankshaft. Okay, so here you can observe the, this is a bore. Okay, bore means the internal diameter of the cylinder, that is the capital D. Okay, and this is the wall thickness. Okay, and this is a piston. So here you can observe the stroke length, that is from here to here is the stroke length, that is the top dead center to bottom dead center, and we have to provide some clearance at the top of the piston. So that is here, this length is a clearance. Okay, there is a 15 percentage of stroke. Okay, we have to provide a minimum 50% of the stroke length. Okay, and yeah, this is the shape of a connecting rod. Okay, so you have to find out the length of the connecting rod. The length of the connecting rod means the distance between two centers of the big end and small end. Okay, so from here to here the distance is small l. Okay, and this is the, here from this point to this point, this is the radius of the crank. Okay, so by using these formulas you have to find out the value of flange thickness. Okay, there is a small t is the flange thickness. Here first of all you have to find out the value of force acting on the connecting rod. The force acting on the connecting rod equal to Fs. Okay, that value I consider that value equal to force acting on the piston. Okay, due to internal combustion gases. So Fc is the force acting on the connecting rod is equal to force acting on the piston pin due to gas forces is equal to maximum inside gas pressure into pi by 4 d square. Pi by 4 d square is the cross sectional area of the piston. Okay, cross sectional area of the piston or cross sectional area of the cylinder. So pi by 4 d square. Okay, yeah, this is the value. So after substituting the values of P and D, you will get the value of force acting on the connecting rod. Okay, so capital P is the maximum inside gas pressure, capital D is the diameter of the piston or diameter of the bore. Okay, here after getting this value, then after you have to substitute this value in buckling load formula. Okay, buckling load value WB equal to Fg into factor of safety. Okay, here after that the value of there is another formula for buckling load, that is WB from Rankine's formula. WB buckling load equal to sigma c into A by 1 plus small a into L by K whole square. Here capital A is the area of the I cross section. Capital A is the area of the I cross section, and small a is the constant, Rankine's constant. Okay, L is the effective length. Okay, here K is the radius of variation. Okay, yeah, the effective length of the connecting rod equal to length of the connecting rod, and K is the radius of variation. The formula for radius of variation equal to square root of I by A. I is the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia of the I cross section. Okay, capital A is the area of the I cross section. Okay, so here 1 by 7500 for mild steel material. This value is given in our problem. Okay, this value is for wrought iron, this value is for cast iron. So in present problem, the material used for connecting rod is mild steel. So you have to consider A equal to 1 by 7500. Okay, so by here you have to remember this formula and this formula. Okay, these three formulas are very important for design of eye cross section. Okay, so stroke length here, uh, the stroke length, you have to consider length of the stroke equal to 2 times the radius of the crank. Okay, here the stroke length of the uh, here the stroke length is given, that is 180 mm. In our question the stroke length is given, that is 180 mm, but I need radius of a crank. Okay, I have to find out the value of radius of the crank. So because already we know the L by R ratio. Okay, if you know the value of R, then you will get the value of length of the connecting rod. So that's why first of all you have to find out the value of radius of the crank. Okay, the formula for stroke length equal 2 times the radius of crank. So here ls equal to 180 mm. So substitute the value of ls, and then you will get the value of r. R is the radius of the crank, that is 90 mm. Okay, then after you have to substitute the value of r in L by R ratio. From given data, L by R ratio equal 4. 4:1 means 4. So substitute the value of r equal to 0.09 meters. Then you will get the value of length of the connecting rod. Length of the connecting rod equal to 4r, and 4 times the radius of the crank. So the length of the connecting rod equal to 360 mm. Okay, so after getting the length of the connecting rod, you have to substitute the values in Rankine's formula. Okay, uh, for Rankine's formula, first you have to know the value of buckling load. That's why the formula for force acting on the connecting rod equal to maximum inside gas pressure into area pi by 4 d square. This is the area of the piston. Pi by 4 d square is the area of the piston. Okay, so capital P value is given, and capital D also we know the value of capital D. So substitute the values P and D, then you will get the value of WC. And after getting the value of WC, you have to substitute this value in buckling load formula. Buckling load equal to FC into Fs. Fs means factor of safety. Here the factor of safety is already given, that is 6. Okay, 6 is given in our problem. Substitute the values here. WB equal to FC into Fs equal to 271433.6 newtons. This is the value of buckling load. Okay, after getting this value, you have to substitute the value of buckling load in Rankine's formula. Okay, already we know the formula for Rankine's formula, WB equals sigma C into A by 1 plus A into L by K whole square. From this formula, you will get the value of flange thickness T. Okay, here you have to substitute the value of WB in here, and the sigma C value already given in our problem. Capital A is the area of the eye cross section, that is 11 T square. Okay, and here L is the length of the connecting rod. That value already obtained from this formula, that is 360 mm, and K is the radius of gyration of the eye cross section. Okay, the formulas for radius of gyration of the eye cross section equal to 1.78 T, and capital A equal to 11 T square. Capital A is the area of the eye cross section, and constant value already given in a problem, that is A equal to 1 by 7500. Okay, this is the shape of eye cross section. Substitute the values in this equation. Here the value of WB equal 271433.6. This value is obtained from previous formula, that is WB equal to force acting on the connecting rod into factor of safety. Okay, and sigma C value is 350 megapascal is given, and capital A is the area of this eye cross section. Okay, there is here the area of top flange equal to, here you have to observe that 4t is the width of the I cross section, and the height h equal 5t. So uh, first of all, you have to divide this I cross section into three rectangles. So you have to consider top rectangle as a top flange. Top flange having width 4t and thickness t. So area of the top flange equal to 4t square, and the area of the bottom flange equal to 4t into t, that is also 4t square. So top flange and bottom flange both are equal, that is 4t square, 4t square, that is 8t square. And the area of the web, this middle vertical rectangle, you have to treat it as web. So this one thickness t and height equal to 3t, that is 3t square. So the total area of this I cross section equal to 4t square plus 3t square plus 4t square, that is equal to 11t square. Okay, so 11t square is the area of the I cross section. So substitute the value of a and small a. Small a equal 1 by 7500 for mild steel, and capital L is the length of the connecting rod, that is 360 mm, and k is the value of the radius of gyration. Radius of gyration for I section, for this section, for this cross section, capital K equal to radius of gyration equal to 1.78 t. T is the thickness of the flange. Okay, thickness of the flange or thickness of the web. Okay, so after substituting the values, you will get the value of small t. Okay, t equal to 8.68. The rounded value is 9 mm. So this is the value of thickness of the flange per I cross section. Okay, so this is the isometric view of the connect I cross section. Okay, this is a length of the connecting rod. Okay, this is the shape. After getting the value of t, after getting the value of thickness t, uh, you have to substitute that values in these formulas. This is the actual shape of the connecting rod. This is a big end, this is a small end. The small end of the connecting rod connected to the piston, and big end of the connecting rod connected to the crank shaft. Okay, crank pin. So DC is the diameter of the crank pin, and D1 is the diameter of the piston pin. Okay, so here uh, at the middle of the connecting rod, that means here the distance between two centers, that is the distance between big end and small end, is the length of the connecting rod. At the middle of the connecting rod, the cross section is I cross section. Those dimensions are 40 and 5t. Already we found that values. Okay, so at middle section width b equal to 40, that is equal to 4 into 9. Here the t value is obtained from previous step. So the width of the I cross section at the at the middle of the connecting rod, 40 equal to 36 mm, and height 5t equal to 5 into 9 equal to 95 45 mm, as well as the dimensions of the I cross section at the big end. Okay, this is the big end. So at nearer the big end, the dimensions h1 is the height of the I cross section, and b is the width of the I cross section. Here the width of the I cross section is same in throughout the length. Okay, there is no change in width, but the height varies from big end to small end. Okay, so h1 is the height of the I cross section at a big end, that is equal to 1.1 times the h. Capital H is the height of the I cross section at the middle of the connecting rod. So after substitute the values in these equations, you will get the values. Okay. So h1 equal to 54 mm. Okay. And h2 is the height of the I cross section at small end. Okay, so this is the formula. After substitute the values in this equation, you will get the value of h2 equal 38 mm. Okay, so these are the final cross sections, final dimensions of the I cross section at the big end, at the middle, at the small end. Okay, so problem is completed. Now coming to the another problem, that is dimensions of the crank pin at the big end and the piston pin at the small end. Okay, that means you have to find out the uh, diameter of the crankshaft and the diameter of the piston pin. Okay, so this is the question. The following are the particulars refer to four-stroke diesel engine connecting rod. Okay, here you have to design a connecting rod for an IC engine running at 1800 rpm and developing a maximum pressure of 3.15 Newton per mm square. The diameter of the piston is 100 mm. Take length to diameter ratio for big end bearing as 1.3 and small end bearing as 2. The corresponding bearing pressure as 10 and 15. Draw a neat dimension sketch showing provision for lubrication. Okay, this is the problem. So by using these details, you have to find out the suitable diameter of the piston pin and crank pin. Okay. So here in this question, you can observe the values. That is speed equal to capital N equal to 1800 rpm, and maximum inside gas pressure value equal to, that is capital P equal to 3.15 Newton per mm square. This maximum inside gas pressure is useful to determine the forces acting on the connecting rod. Okay, so by using this maximum inside gas pressure, you have to find out the value of force acting on the connecting rod. Okay, and the diameter of the piston or bore diameter. Okay, bore diameter or diameter of the piston equal to 100 mm. That is capital D, and the length to the diameter ratio for big end bearing. That means the length of the big end bearing divided by diameter of the big end bearing equal to 1.3. Similarly, the length of the small end bearing and divided by diameter of the piston pin equal to 2. The corresponding bearing pressures, that is bearing pressure at big end equal to 10 megapascal and bearing pressure at small end equal to 15 megapascal. Draw a neat dimensional sketch showing provision for lubrication. Okay, so here you have to draw a dimension sketch for lubrication. Okay, these are the given values. So the given data is cylinder bore or diameter of the piston equal to capital D is given, that is 100 mm, and maximum inside gas pressure also given, that is P equal to 3.15 megapascal. You have to convert these values into meters. So 1 megapascal equal to 10 power 6, and by using these two values, we have to find out the force acting on the connecting rod equal to maximum inside gas pressure into area of the piston, that is a P into pi by 4 d square. So after substituting values of P and D, you will get the answer FC, force acting on the connecting rod equal to 24,740 newtons. Okay, this value is useful to determine the suitable dimensions of the crank pin and piston pin. Okay, here the ratios are given, that is length of the connecting rod. So length of the crank pin divided by diameter of the crank. Okay, this is the ratio of length to diameter of the crank. Okay, length of the crank divided by diameter of the crank equal to 1.3. Okay, from this relation, LC length of the crank equal to 1.3 DC. That is 1.3 times the diameter of the crank. And also bearing pressure for crank pin is equal to 10 megapascal, that is 10 into 10 power 6 Newton per meter square. Similarly, the length to diameter ratio for small end bearing, or small end bearing means piston pin. That it is the length of the piston pin divided by diameter of the piston pin. Here suffix C refers crank. Here suffix P refers piston pin. Okay. So L by P, LP is the length of the piston pin divided by diameter of the piston pin equal to 2. Okay, from this relation, the length of the piston pin equal to 2 times the diameter of the piston pin. Okay, and also the bearing pressure at piston pin equal to PBP. Okay, PB suffix bearing pressure. Okay, and here small p refers piston pin. Here PB is the bearing pressure and C is the crank pin. Okay, so here the bearing pressure at piston pin equal to 15 megapascal. By using these data, you have to find out the suitable diameter of the crank pin and piston pin. So these are the formulas for design of piston pin. And yeah, for crank pin, that is a crank pin at big end. Okay, this is the formula for force acting on the connecting rod. Already we have found that value, that is FC, force acting on the connecting rod, P into pi by 4 d square equal to 24740. Already we found that value. Okay, and here for piston pin also same formula. Okay, FC same formula for both cases. Here uh, the load acting on the crank pin is equal to FC or FG. Okay, FC or FG equal to diameter of the crank pin into length of the crank pin into bearing pressure at the crank pin. Okay, here Fg equal to 24740. Substitute the value of 24740. DC is the diameter of the crank pin and LC is the length of the crank pin. Here already in given data, the length of the crank pin equal to 1.3 dc, and here same formula for Fg equal to diameter of the piston pin, Lp is the length of the piston pin, bearing pressure at a piston pin. Okay, here dp value, we don't know the values of dc, Lc, dp, Lp. We have to find that values. Okay, here the LP equal to 2 into dp, LC equal to 1.3 into dc. From given data, LC equal to 1.3 dc, LP equal to 2 dp. Okay, so substitute the values in these formulas. You will get the value of dc and LC. As similarly, here Fg equal to 24,740. DC, I don't know the value of DC, but I know the value of LC in terms of DC, that is equal to 1.3 DC. So substitute LC equal to 1.3 DC in this equation, and bearing pressure also given, that value equal to 10 megapascal. Okay, so after substituting the values, finally I got DC, that is the diameter of the crank pin, that is equal to 43.6 mm. Okay, this is the required diameter of the crank. Okay, and substitute this diameter value in length of the crank, that is equal to 1.3 dc. So LC equal to 1.3 into DC equal to 56.6 mm. Okay, similarly for a piston pin at a small end, substitute the values of LP and PBP in this equation. You will get the value of diameter of piston pin DP. Okay, already we know the value of LP. LP equal to 2 dp. So you have to substitute this value in this equation, and substitute the value of PBP, that is a bearing pressure at piston pin, equal to 15 megapascal. Okay, so finally the value of dp equal to diameter of the piston pin equal to 0.0287 meters or 28.7 mm. Okay, so the length of the piston pin equal to 2 times the diameter of the piston pin. Here from this relation, LP equal to 2 times the diameter of piston pin. So LP equal to 57.4. Okay, these are the dimensions, and this is the diagram. Okay, this is the assemble diagram. I will show the video, and this is the schematic diagram of connecting rod. Okay, this is the provision for lubrication. Okay, so here you can observe the parts. This is a piston, Okay, this is a hole. Okay, and this is a piston pin. Okay, this is a connecting rod. Okay, this is a connecting rod. This is a cap. Okay, big end cap. This is a big end. This is a small end. This small hole is a small end. This big hole is a big end. Okay, yeah, this is a piston. Yeah, piston. Sorry, this is a piston pin. This is a piston pin. This is a piston pin bearing. Okay, that is a phosphor bronze bush. This is a bush, phosphor bronze bush, uh, acts as a bearing. Okay, so here this is a piston pin bearing or a phosphor bronze bush, and these two halves are also bushes at the big end. Okay, so here L L P here LP is the length of the piston pin. So from here to here, this is the length of the piston pin. Okay, and this is the diameter of the piston pin. Okay, diameter of the piston pin. This is the diameter, and that is a DP. And here this is the big end hole. That is the diameter of the crank. That is a DC. Okay, this is the diameter of the crank, and LC is the length of the crank. That is the width of the this bush. Okay, LC is I will show from here to here. This is the length of the crank pin, LC. This is LC, and yeah, you can observe this is a DC. This is a DC, that is the diameter of the crank. Okay, this is a big end, and this one is a diameter of a piston pin, DP is the diameter of a piston pin. Okay, and this is the length of the piston pin. This is LP. Okay, this is LC, this is LP. Okay, now I will show the video. Here you can observe the assemble of piston parts and connecting rod and bushes. Observe carefully. Here you can observe this is a piston. Okay, this is a piston hole for inserting the piston pin. Okay, you can observe this is a piston pin. This is a bush, phosphor bronze bush. This is a phosphor bronze bush, and this is a big end hole. This is a small end hole. Okay, the small end of the connecting rod connected to the piston pin. Okay, and the big end of the connecting rod connected to the crank pin. Okay, and this is a cap. Okay, this is a cap. These two are the bolts and nuts. Okay, here we are using castle nut for joining the cap. Here these two halves are also bushes. Okay, this one also a phosphor bronze bush. Okay, these bushes acts as bearing surfaces. Okay, friends. Okay, this is the final answer for design of dimensions of crank pin at big end and piston pin at the small end. Okay, okay, friends. Thank you. In next class, we'll explain two more problems on connecting rod. That is, in next class, I will explain how to determine the whipping stresses, and also how to design the a cap and cap bolts for connecting rod. Okay, okay, friends. Thank you.